Good morning, good evening, good day, wherever you may be. Xpeng, they've been all over the net right now. They had a major over-the-air upgrade that was released yesterday, 26th, for its P7 sedan in China. It's a very large upgrade. It has new optimized functions, a new version of the operating system for the P7, over 40 new functions and over 200 optimized features, include autonomous driving assistant, full scenario voice assistance, smart audio and music, cockpit, in-car system, and personalized settings. More on that later. They have a lot of personalized settings you do. But Xpeng Motors was on Bloomberg. They talked about P7 upgrades, autonomous driving, and EV outlook. Actually very good. Some of the questions that got asked was, how close will the upgrade or released for OTA take us to fully autonomous? And what is the timeline looking like now? Some questions, some answers are kind of vague, but this is the Xpeng. This is the first step. That is what they call level 3, but still requires someone behind the wheel. That is on highways today. Xpeng is in time will have similar features launched in urban areas, roads, normal streets, with more data, more power and computing chips. In a few years' time, the driver can be removed. This is one of the first steps to launch autonomous driving. They talked about the shortages of computer chips. And that's okay. And how it was impacting other car makers, and how does it affect Xpeng. Xpeng said luckily they have not been impacted by these. Xpeng is focused on smart vehicles, high-end chips, and not mass-produced chips that are more mass production vehicles, like the normal cars. Another question from Bloomberg: what parts do you think are going to go into the EVs in 3 years' time for investors to look at? They are not as much in demand right now. Okay. Well, Xpeng. EVs and normal cars have the same suppliers, but the suppliers provide different sort of components: powertrains, batteries, chipsets, and architectural sensors, and etc. Kind of vague right there, but we probably get the point. They will be used more in our smart vehicles, and we'll see more growth. They're expecting to grow a lot in this sector in terms of trends, especially on what many would consider a mass market price point of this vehicle. The EV market has been focused on the polarized market. One is the high end, with Tesla at a high point, as well as others in China. See, some of the answers are vague, but $350,000 above market. That is where a lot of these startups are. And the low-end market below $150,000 that have been popular with domestic TV makers. But let's use the TV as an example. In terms of development phase, who would you consider your main competitor still? Xpeng, do you look at the traditional automakers or specific EV makers as your competitors? A good question, but with technology come much trying to partner with OEMs to launch automobile, we start to see competitors. Dynamic change a bit, most in technology side. Traditional car makers could be less likely to be our competitors. Bloomberg asked Xpeng, you have all of these upgrades, and I know you have a new model being lined up. Can you give us the forecast for sale for 2021? It is hard for us to provide forecasts. It is early in the year. We'll give more forecasts as we develop more understanding of the market trends. Xpeng, we see very significant demand momentum still in China. We see a doubling for more this year as well. Xpeng delivered a total of 27,041 vehicles in 2020. That's a 112% increase year over year. Xpeng debuted on New York Stock Exchange in August. Xpeng raised $1.72 billion in IPO last year. So some of the answers were kind of vague to the questions, but I'll get back to you with the first part of all the features they put out. I'll get back to you on that one. Gotta go back and to the doctor again about some stuff. You have a good day, good evening, good night, and if you get a chance, watch the Bloomberg video.